Hello, my name is Bill Smedley. I'm Managing Director of RGP. We are architects, project managers and quantity surveyors. And we design and deliver fantastic buildings.
Hello Bill, my name is Elena Rabusha and I am Managing Director of Qdos Training. I am here to interview Bill about his experience employing apprentices. So how many apprentices have you employed in total, Bill?
We've employed 3 in total. Our first experience was an apprentice on her own, and she stayed with us just under 12 months. And from our experience and her experience wasn't entirely satisfactory. We didn't work together, unfortunately. However, after she left us, shortly after, we decided that we would have another apprentice. And in fact, we decided to have 2. So those 2 people, Danielle and Celine, have been with us for just over 12 months now, and it's been a much more satisfactory experience for us.
Excellent. Why did you decide to have 2?
When we had the unfortunate experience with our first, we thought it might be the working environment. So we decided to reorganise our workspace, combining our reception and working space for the administration team. And we were quite busy at the time, and we thought perhaps it would be better if 2 young people were working together as a team alongside our practice manager. So we thought that 2 instead of 1 might work better, and in hindsight I think it has.
Right, so what roles do these apprentices fulfil at the moment?
2 roles really. One is a meet and greet. That's in person and on the telephone, and the other one is a more general administration role with regard to producing documents, filing, compliance with our QA system, building a database, and other general duties as well.
So the 2 apprentices have been with you for over 12 months now?
Yes, they have.
And I believe you have offered both of them a full-time position with the organisation.
Yes, that's correct.
So if we can maybe go back right to the beginning, and I can ask you a few questions. How did they come on board? So if we go right to the beginning, you have designed the 2 posts. And you have advertised the vacancies with Qdos, I believe.
Yes, we did.
Can we take it from there? What was the process like for you?
The process involved, once we registered our requirement with Qdos, we were sent CVs. And I think we probably saw 10 CVs before we decided that we would interview. And we interviewed 4 for the 2 posts. And the 2 that were successful were the ones that probably best suited our requirement, and we thought would settle into our methodology of working.
Alright, so first of all, CV. What have you looked at on the CV? What was important to you?
CV should contain not just qualifications, but also personal interest, and if we can see a letter demonstrating the reasons why they wanted to have the position with us as well. So we could look at qualifications, we could look at relevant experience, not suggesting that they need experience in the role, just an experience of general education, a basic general education. And on top of that, the ability to write coherently, obviously not perfectly, just so that we've got something to build on. So we're looking for a firm foundation upon which we can build.
So, for example, if you come across a CV which, let's say, doesn't have brilliant grades, what would you be looking at? Would you discard it straight away, or would you be looking at something more within a CV?
We would look at 3 aspects of the application. The actual grades of assessment, usually GCSEs, is one element, but alongside that, and equal alongside that, is this ability to write coherently and to have a basic understanding of a basic education. So we should be able to glean from the CV education experience, education qualification, and that ability to present yourself in writing. And so if those grades weren't satisfactory, that won't rule you out. We'd probably have a target grade of looking for C to GCSE. But if the grades fall below that, and the CV and the written submission is above that, then that probably balances things out. So it doesn't matter about qualification, it matters about having a good basic education.
Right, thank you very much. So you have looked at 10 CVs, you've chosen 4, and then you interviewed those 4 people and chosen 2 people after that. What were you looking for during the interviews?
We were looking for them to build on the written submission. So did they appear to have a commitment to us and a commitment to learn? We want those things, I think, are essential. Otherwise it won't benefit the apprentice or the company. So we're then looking for someone who could present themselves so that we in turn could present them to our guests and clients. So 3 things really: the ability to present. I'm not saying they have to have great confidence. Again, going back to this idea, we need a foundation upon which we can build. And we want to see if they have that, as far as we can assess, that willingness to learn. That's probably the most important thing. Do they want to learn?
So basically you were looking for an attitude rather than experience and the skill set.
We understand that they probably have no knowledge of working in an office and no knowledge of what an office does. That doesn't matter. Just if they can learn, that's great, because we can teach them.
So have you employed young people before?
Certainly we have. Over the period that practice has been in existence, we've always employed young people, mostly graduates, probably age 21. And again, that's probably architecture graduate or a quantity surveying graduate. It's probably their first opportunity of working in an office. So there is a similarity between our apprentices coming to us and a graduate coming to us. But yes, over the years we've actually employed a lot of young people, not just graduates, we've employed younger people in other roles as well.
So what about apprentices? Was it your first experience with apprentices?
In the purest sense of the word apprentice, yes, it was. But as I said earlier, a lot of our members of staff have never worked in an office before, so they have to learn the basis of office protocol, quality assurance, and the general approach to what the expectation is to work in an office environment.
So you had the systems and the training already developed for young people coming in, an idea of what you're doing with young people? We
do, alongside other perhaps more experienced people. We have an appraisal system, which is a two-way discussion. Our expectations for career progression and the personal expectations on behalf of the employee, be they an apprentice or any other member of staff.
So when the 2 ladies first came in as apprentices here, what was it like within the first 3 months of them settling in?
It was an experience that was not unsatisfactory. And I say that because when we have a graduate or an apprentice coming into business, we expect the first 3 months to be completely unproductive. So if we get a benefit in the first 3 months, that's great, but we don't expect it.
Well, the first 3 months you put work in.
Yes, and then the second 3 months we'll build on putting that work in, but we'll expect to start to get something back as well. And we certainly did from our 2 apprentices.
So how the duties have developed from the first 3 months to where they are now?
First of all, it was a case of learning how to answer the telephone in the correct manner and the basis of communication within the office internally. And with their training, with the parallel training at Qdos, then they have learned, and we would have expected them to have learned software programs and other skills that would help in their administration role. And now, after 12 months, we're quite confident that they can draft documents to go out to the office, be it in letter form or report, dictated report, and that outgoing emails, development of database, making drinks, general catering. We have an office meeting once a month, and our two apprentices actually prepare our lunch. It's a buffet lunch. They put it all together for us, and we all enjoy it, hopefully. So that they have developed a lot of skills in that 12-month period, and we have confidence in them now that we probably didn't have at the beginning.
Overall experience employing an apprenticeship, has it met your expectation?
It certainly has met our expectation. As we've said, that first 3 months is a learning process for both parties. And the whole experience has been certainly satisfactory. And we've seen the two apprentices grow in slightly different roles, and they carry out slightly different duties, but generally the same. And they carry out all the administration roles that we would expect of a secretary.
So what about the support provided by my company, Qdos, to RGP when it comes to the apprentices?
We're aware that there are regular meetings that take place with apprentices in our office, and we do know that the communication route is there for us to exchange ideas, and we've certainly done that with our apprentices. We've asked them to have additional training in certain areas, and Qdos has responded, and that experience has been brought back to us, and that works. We know if we want to talk to Qdos we can, and we know that they'll respond in an appropriate manner. So it has been, again, it's been more than a satisfactory experience with Qdos.
Excellent, thank you very much. So when it comes to training, the apprentices have undergone IT application specialist apprenticeship, where they have gone through qualifications such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, use of email, use of internet, etc. Has your company benefited from the skills that have been brought in by the apprentices? And how?
Yes, we benefited. All the programs that you mentioned we use on a regular basis. If I was to pick one of those in particular, I'd say that both apprentices have excelled in Excel, and it's one program that we use extensively in the office. For example, our database is on Excel, our invoicing is, and our apprentices are experienced in preparing Excel documents for us, and they have brought an expertise to the business. In Excel particularly. Email is a regular, we send our post by email, and they do that for us. We do PowerPoint presentations, and they both put presentations together for us. Word document is used extensively for our letter writing, for example. So yes, the whole package of their training has been a benefit to us.
So would you say that through the training they've received, they may have brought something, knowledge to the company that the company perhaps didn't have before?
Yes, particularly with regard to our database, where we were looking to replace our database, to be frank. We were looking at the Access program, and so we asked one of our apprentices, Danielle, to gain some further experience in that. And whilst we didn't go down that route, the experience and the training that Danielle received actually helped us to make the decision. Our database is done in a different way, and they have actually put it together for us, and it's a lot more easy to use, and we do use it more, and it is a greater benefit to us having had their input.
I think that's quite significant, because in every director's life, all of us, purchase databases, which quite often could be very costly decisions.
Yes, it could be that we still go down that route when we buy something, a system, a very expensive system. But at the moment, I think we have a satisfactory system that's been put together with the benefit of their training and experience.
So what would you say, what would you mark as achievements by the two apprentices that come in?
It's difficult to pick out one particular achievement because they have actually achieved a lot in a great number of areas, and we've talked about Excel and Word and PowerPoint and so on. So they have excelled in the role to which they wanted. The general administration and IT facility that you need in an office, they have excelled at. They've more than met our expectation when we entered into this apprenticeship scheme over 12 months ago now.
Excellent. So your admin department right now consists of a senior manager and two former apprentices.
Yes.
So I hope that works well.
It works well. We have a team. We have a team of 3 and a very capable team of 3 in which we have confidence as a business. And I think that confidence has grown since they've been here. So it has been a benefit. It's difficult to say whether we've made a big step forward in that 12-month period, but certainly we have a much more reliable data library and filing system and information retrieval system in place with that team of 3 people working together.
So what kind of careers are available to the two apprentices within the organisation?
We work with our staff members individually through our appraisal system, giving them the opportunity to grow. There is an opportunity to take those administration skills and develop them in a number of ways. For example, we produce marketing material. We need someone to update that information and to add to it. We need to be able to develop our web base and our social media activity. There's a technical direction that they can go in as well to help us with our work in preparing reports, rather than just typing a dictated report, perhaps helping to collate a report or a requirement. So there's a variety of ways in which they can build on their personal skills, and they can build within the practice in a variety of ways, be it technical or administration or marketing. Those 3 areas are always areas we're looking to be better at. We need to market ourselves better. The information that we use to do that needs to be better, so they can help us with that. And we've talked to them both about how they would like to progress next. The worst thing they can do is to stop learning now. As professionals, we have to do what's called continual professional development, or CPD, and we'd expect them to do the same. If you don't learn, you go backwards. So they have to learn, but it's up to them what they want to do next.
And what advice would you give to an employer that perhaps never experienced apprenticeship before and would consider employing young people?
I would say do it. The reason I say that is because your company will get a benefit, provided you are willing to put the time into their time and their development. If you do that, you will reap rewards. So I suggest that it's a very good idea. We certainly benefited from it, and you would too.
Thank you very much, Bill.
Pleasure.